Knowing how much income your pension can give you, or whether you even have enough to retire, for many people is completely unknown. If you start to think about your retirement, then you may be looking for answers on this. But these questions unfortunately don't have a simple answer that anyone can give you straight away. There are many factors when it comes to retirement planning, such as how you take the income, what rate of return do you need, and can you be flexible with your withdrawals? In this video, I'm going to look at a specific scenario, and by using Cashflow modeling, it will help you understand what you need to think about when it comes to planning for retirement. Hi, welcome to the channel. My name's Matt and I'm a UK-based independent financial planner. Here you will learn how to make smart decisions with your money so you can get the most out of your earnings. So today we are looking at a specific case study, and in this case we have Alex. Alex is 55, he's single and has £300,000 in his pension. He wants to know if he can realistically retire now. Alex has worked out his expenses and it aligns with the guidance from the Retirement Living Standards, who estimate for someone who's single and lives outside of London and wants a moderate lifestyle in retirement, you would need around £23,300 net each year. To start, let's look at how you can take income from a pension. Broadly speaking, there are two approaches, one that is flexible and one that is fixed. Now, you can combine these approaches, but let's initially look at them individually. The flexible method is often referred to as drawdown. In this situation, you have a pot of money that you've built up either through a workplace pension or a personal pension, and when you reach the minimum pension age, which is currently 55, moving to 57 in April 2028, it is available there for you to take income from, until essentially there's nothing left in the pot. This drawdown method provides flexibility on how you take your income. So some years you may take more, some years you may take less. It all depends on what you think the best approach is to fund your retirement. I will come on to this flexible method later, and this is where the cash flow plan comes in. The second method is fixed, and this is where you would buy an annuity. Annuity is where you convert your savings or mainly a pension into a regular stream of income through an annuity provider. There are many variations available within annuities, such as whether you want a guaranteed payout in the early years, ones that continue to pay out to a spouse when you die, or ones where you can include some sort of inflation protection in the annuity income, so it increases each year. For Alex, I'm going to look at two variations. Now, with an annuity, you typically take your tax-free cash first, which is 25%. So in our case, 75% is paid out as a cash lump sum, and the remaining £225,000 is used for the annuity. In the first option, we're looking at annuity which is level, meaning it doesn't increase each year with inflation. As Alex is single, it is on a single life basis, so wouldn't pay out to any spouse or dependents on his death, and it is paid monthly in arrears. So at the time of quoting, which is the 12th of February 2024, the annuity income is £13,190, which equates to 5.9% of the original £225,000 we gave to the annuity provider. Our second option is similar to our first option, but instead of having the income remain level, we have built in RPI, meaning the income from the annuity will increase each year in line with the Retail Prices Index, which is a measure of inflation in the UK. As you'd expect, the starting rate is going to be lower and is £7,662, which is 3.4% of the pension. But of course, this will increase each year in line with RPI. However, annuity isn't what Alex is looking for, and he wants something with more flexibility. So to do this, we're going to look at the drawdown route. For the drawdown route, I'm going to create a cash flow plan using software provided by Timeline, which I often do with my own clients. Timeline holds 100 years of historic data that allows me to stress test retirement plans. The tool factors in income, asset levels, asset allocation, product wrappers, taxes, inflation, a whole bunch of stuff. And in the tool, we are running the scenarios to age 97. And the success rate is defined as the percentage of scenarios where Alex hasn't run out of money before this age. As the pot is in drawdown, we need to determine Alex's asset allocation. In this example, 60% of the pension will be in equities and 40% is in bonds. And the total charge of the pension is 1% per annum of the plan value. As we know, Alex's required income is £23,300 a year, and this annual amount will also need to increase with inflation so Alex can maintain his purchasing power. The first graph I want to show you looks back at what Alex's sustainable spending levels could have been if he retired in any year between 1915 and 1978. The reason it ends in 1978 is so it gives us a full 43-year period of retirement. The best case scenario was in 1921, where if Alex retired then, he could have withdrawn £23,000 each year without running out of money. However, if Alex had retired in 1915, his sustainable level of income would have only been £8,000. So there is a big difference here on what a sustainable level of income could have been. The chart displayed here considers Alex's portfolio and his withdrawals of £23,300 net per year. The blue line shows the median scenario, so half the scenarios will be better and half will be worse, giving an average scenario. We can see here that in the median scenario, by the time Alex gets to 71, he would have run out of money. If we look at a wider and more likely range of scenarios, which is this bluey grey shaded area, this represents the 30th to 70th percentile. So 40% of the scenarios around the median. At the higher end of this range, Alex would be down to £8,700 at age 73, and on the lower end, he would have run out of money by age 69. Showing even more scenarios, this grey shaded area shows 80% of the cases, which has Alex running out of money on the higher end at age 76 and on the lower end at age 65. In fact, based on 780 scenarios across the last 109 years of history, Alex's pension runs out of money before he reaches age 98 every scenario, giving a success rate of 0%. Therefore, we need to look at the plan in detail and see if there are any levers we can pull or changes we can make to increase the sustainability of Alex's withdrawals. The first thing to look at is Alex's state pension, which he is due to receive at age 67. On this chart, the red line shows Alex's income and the blue bars show how this pension makes up this amount. At age 67, the green bars then represent his state pension starting, providing him an income of £10,600 per year, which means Alex can now withdraw less from his pension pot to make up his overall £23,300 income need. When we go back to the outcomes chart, we can see the overall situation has improved, with the median scenario increasing from age 71 to age 78, and now the pension has positive balances at age 98 in 16% of the scenarios instead of that initial 0%. However, 16% isn't the best success rate, and we need to be looking at what else we can do for Alex. Alex's asset allocation is 60% in equities and 40% in bonds. So let's look at the impact of increasing the equity allocation to 100%. Our chart now shows a wider range of outcomes, which is due to the increased volatility of returns you see when increasing exposure to equities. However, history has shown this higher proportion of equities has provided higher long-term growth. therefore reducing the risk of running out of money, which in turn increases our success rate significantly to 43%. And now the median scenario is up to age 89. To go one step further with Alex's asset allocation, we're going to put his first year of income in a cash fund within the pension. But by putting a year's worth of income in cash, then it improves the success rate to 44%, and the median scenario age has now increased to age 90. So far the picture is looking a lot more positive from where we first started. However, our success rate is not where it should be before we consider Alex retiring and leaving work full time. But what if we looked at retirement in a different way to how many of us view it? The status quo is that retirement is a cliff edge and you go from working full time to not working at all. However, Alex could opt for something in the middle. He could look to either drop his hours in his current role or find another role that will take him on part-time. This phasing out of work not only will help his financial situation, but allow him to adjust to the idea of not working without the sudden change in lifestyle. Alex's salary is currently £50,000, but if he drops down to 3 days a week for the next 3 years until he is age 60, this will provide an income of £33,000 gross a year, which covers his lifestyle during this period and means he is not dipping into his pension fund, therefore giving it more time to grow. Additionally, Alex is still working, so not only will he be contributing to his pension, but his employers will continue to contribute 3% of his salary as well. All these factors mean that in the median scenario, Alex's pension pot at age 60 is £403,000, giving him a much larger success rate of 85%. This now is looking a lot more positive, where the majority of scenarios Alex will not run out of money. But we still have a 15% chance that Alex will run out of money. These outcomes often occur when we have negative or poor returns in the stock markets at the start of retirement when we first take income. Adding the year of cash helps reduce this risk, but doesn't completely eliminate it. So we need to provide some sort of flexibility in the plan where if Alex does experience poor returns in the initial years, he knows in order to preserve his pension, he needs to withdraw less from the pot. Now, this is easier said than done, and when you can see your pension falling in value, it is difficult to keep your emotions in check and know what to do. To make this easier for ourselves, we need a set of rules to follow so we aren't over or underreacting to certain market events, but just making sensible adjustments to keep us on track. Now, there are a number of strategies out there. I won't cover all of them in this video. So today I'm just going to focus on one, and that is the boundaries approach. Boundaries will be set for increasing or decreasing income withdrawals from Alex's pension if the current year's withdrawal rate rises above a certain percentage or falls below a certain percentage. So if Alex's pension has a poor start, the pot will reduce in value to a greater extent when comparing to an average start. Alex's net withdrawal of $23,300 will now be a higher percentage of this lower pot value. For example, if the pension is £400,000 a year, a $23,300 net withdrawal as a percentage is 5.8%. However, if that pension fell to £250,000, the net withdrawal would then be 9.3%. Therefore, to preserve the pot as long as we can, we need a rule in place that if the withdrawal rate rises above a certain level, then Alex must correspondingly reduce his withdrawals. On the flip side, if Alex's pension gets off to a great start, the pot will be higher in value than we expected, and therefore the percentage he withdraws from the pot will be lower, and he will likely have an excess amount to fund the remaining years. Alex could opt to leave this in the pension, but we can set a rule in place that if a withdrawal percentage falls below a certain level, Alex can increase his withdrawals, enjoying more of his money in retirement. Adding this flexibility And systematic approach means if we do see poor returns, we have a strategy that preserves the pension pot. When we apply these boundaries to Alex's plan, we can see the situation improves and our success rate increases to 95%. So, to address the original question of can you retire at 55 with a £300,000 pension? Well, the answer is yes, but it depends. We've looked at various ways you can make your pension pot last longer in your retirement, but some of these just may not work for you. In the boundaries approach, there's a possibility that you will need to reduce your income during the earlier years of your retirement. And for some, this just may not work. The period where you first retire is typically when you spend the most and you enjoy your new lifestyle. So having to compromise on this may not be worth it for you. When it comes to flexibility with your job or work, some people may not have this luxury of going part-time. So they might have to make a trade-off between staying in their role full-time for longer or reducing their income in retirement. I hope this video has given you some insight into your options at retirement. But of course, everyone's situation is different. Having a base knowledge of your pensions when you start to plan for retirement will always set you up well. So, for a beginner's guide to pensions, click on the video over here and I'll see you over there.